My name is Joe Stieb, and I'm here to interview Eugene Collins, a Vietnam vet. We're both Vietnam vets, both Vietnam vets, as a matter of fact. And so this is for the Rocky Mountain Regional VA Center in Aurora, Colorado, as part of the Remembering the Veterans Program. So anyway, so we start with Eugene. Okay, I guess what you'd like to know, I heard you say a little bit about your past there. You want to talk a little bit about the biography of your family when you grew up?
Yeah, I grew up in a little town in Texas, Temple, Texas. I was one of 14 kids.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and
My.
it was different.
Where were you at in the 14?
I was the third oldest.
Third oldest.
Yeah, so
How did you do that? That's what I'd like
yeah,
to
a
know.
lot of siblings. But when I left, I left. All my siblings were just babies. I had two older brothers that were a couple of years older than I was, but the rest of them were so young, they were still crawling and, still babies.
But did any of them follow you in the service?
Not really.
So they were all,
No.
you were the only service?
No, most of them were afraid to leave Texas.
Oh,
So, so
geez.
they're still down there.
Yeah.
Growing up in my little town in Texas, it was very difficult, especially because being African American, it was like, we basically had to be in it before dark. It was pretty extremely, I would say, racist, and they were taking black kids out of high school, out of 10th and 9th and 10th grade, and sending them to the big penitentiaries, and that's how I ended up going to the Navy because we were very, very poor, and we had to hustle for ourselves. So I stole a carton of cigarettes in a Safeway one day and got caught, and they gave me the choice of either join the military or go to penitentiary. So that was a very big choice. I accepted to get out of town ticket, but it was extremely stressful going up to where I grew up because we had no privileges, no nothing. I considered us not even second-class citizens back then because certain parts of town we couldn't go into unless you were going to work. It was just, my childhood was pretty miserable.
Yeah.
So I made it through that. So,
Because I know back, you said that that went on a lot when you got in trouble.
yeah,
The judge gave you the choice of
join the
prison.
military.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah. They were forcing people in the military.
And it showed. When you guys got out, it showed because they had no discipline. A lot of those guys didn't have any discipline. So, it came up all the time. They don't do that anymore. But that was, I'm sure they sent a lot of guys out of prison to the service.
Yeah. I joined the Navy when I turned 18, so I could get out of Texas and see the world and stuff like that. So I left Texas in '67 and went to San Diego for my basic training, and basically never went back except for a few family affairs.
So where did you go now? So you went to boot camp. Did you go to school after boot camp, or did you go?
No, I went. I was trained on the job, basically.
Yeah,
They had two classes and stuff. My company and stuff. They used to send us out on little cruise to do practice on photography. Yeah.
Did you go right into photography? You didn't have to go to a Navy school for that, or?
Well, they were going to send me to the naval school, to Pensacola, Florida, because they had a photography classes out there for this college there that you you go to school for 4 years and you have to sign up for 6
Wow,
years.
6 years.
Yeah, but I never did make it in there because I went to Vietnam before.
Did you have any background in photography before that?
No, nothing. I knew absolutely nothing about it, but I learned very fast.
So you said on-the-job training. Is that what you wanted to do, or did they give you on-the-job training? You should offer you school or on-the-job training, right?
No, it's just straight on the job training. When I first went in after boot camp, and I went to my company, I instantly started doing documentaries. Like I was traveling all over the country here at first before I went to Vietnam. I was sent to several different states to do documentaries for the Navy.
What kind of documentary did you do?
It's just military stuff. It was a variety of things.
Was it combat people, combat mission stuff, or?
Yeah, well, after Vietnam, when I got to Vietnam, that's all it was. But here in the States, I was doing document on new naval facilities and, certain people that were in the Navy that they wanted, to emphasize. Just whatever they thought was interesting.
But was there a message that you wanted to deliver, or was it maybe geared to what they wanted to hear, or could you do what you wanted to?
No, I did what I wanted to, but basically, they were basically in charge. So I just did what I was told.
Yeah. Does the term Hanoi Hannah ring a bell?
Who?
Hanoi Hannah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what you knew about her.
Yeah, we used to hear her in the evenings, and she was talking about we didn't have any business being in that country, especially the blacks, the African Americans. She strongly talked to us about how we were being treated in this country while we were over there, and she was thought provoking. I feel like that.
A lot of it was right on, wasn't it?
Yeah, majority of it was, especially when it came to talking about us.
Yeah.
We were being lynched and killed in America, and we were there trying to help, protect people we know nothing about.
One thing I remember about her was that she would say, "Oh, the Americans are getting rich."
Yeah.
The war American. She would do General Dynamics. She named every one of them.
Exactly.
And she would play our music, and then that's what tuned you in.
Yeah, exactly.
So well, that's interesting because a lot of people wouldn't remember who she was.
Yeah, she was like in World War II there, Tokyo Rose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was our Tokyo Rose.
Yeah.
Let's see. So how long were you? You were stationed on the stateside for a while before you went to
Vietnam? I think I went in '67. They sent me to Vietnam in April '68, right in the middle of the test.
So where did you go? Were you stationed in a hut there, or were we?
No, our main office was on Thompson Air. It was on Thompson, the air base, and we would be shipped out to different assignments from there. From in Saigon, we would go to different parts of the country.
Did they ever attack you there?
What?
Did they ever attack you there?
In Saigon? Yeah. Well, we were being attacked when I landed.
Yeah.
So, it was
welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. That was your welcome.
Yeah, most definitely. We learned a lot of lessons. Yeah, we could look out the aircraft and see them shooting, try to shoot the plane down, and people were crawling on the barbed wire trying to get inside the bed, and it was pretty bloody. So
here you are, a kid from Texas.
Yeah.
You step out of that plane. What did you think about that? How did you feel when you got and you saw that? How did you feel at that point?
The killing part was it was nothing that I wasn't used to, because black people get killed out in Temple a lot, and nothing was basically done. So the killing part I was adjusted to. It's just the reasons that I couldn't figure out.
Mm-hmm. As a photographer, were you armed?
Yeah, they gave me a 45. That's all they gave us.
So,
Yeah.
did they let you shoot it? I mean, sometimes they just made it look good.
Yeah, that's basically what it was for. Just eye candy. They told us never shoot, never use
Yeah,
it.
use it.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
yeah.
So when you guys went out on the field, who covered for you? Did you have a team of people that covered for you?
And we had a crew. Usually, like our commanding officer and three more. A team of four. We
Yeah.
usually go out, and then sometimes I went on a couple of separate missions by myself. So they send me out on different things, and I'd have to photograph it myself, like the naval battleship, the USS New Jersey, when they brought it out of mothballs, they sent it to the Tonkin Gulf, and they sent me up there to photograph, photograph and shooting his guns and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And it was aerial photography. That was the first time I did aerial photography.
There's a term Tonkin Golf Yacht Club. Ring a bell?
What?
Tonkin Golf Yacht Club.
I don't really know.
That's what I've got a patch on that. It says when we got involved in that, that's what they've called it. The Tonkin Golf. So when you seen the New Jersey, you guys should watch your fire.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
They fired the counters and the whole shit would rock.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy.
Were you able to ever, when you were photography, were you able to go see the other end of that where those things landed? Because they had an accuracy of 25 miles inland.
Yeah, no, we tried to film the shells landing and stuff. But I never could pinpoint them, where exactly where they fell.
Yeah.
So I was just basically photographing blind. But
Well, the reason they brought her out was to save the aircraft.
yeah,
It's cheaper to have her out there than it was losing the
yeah,
aircraft.
exactly.
So, but that would have been quite an experience. Were you ever able to go on board of her?
Excuse?
Were you able to go on board?
No, just the aerial part.
That would be cool.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if the experience like that. Do you feel that? Do you think we were doing the right thing when we were there?
No, absolutely not.
Did you ever wonder that? So what we doing here?
Yeah, I wanted it all the time, but I just do my job, so that's what I did. Yeah, that's no question.
So you were 18 years old probably by then,
Right.
and so you didn't ask questions.
No.
Even like when you got your first shots in boot camp, did you ever question what you were getting?
No. You just stand in line and get them. That was right.
Like the flying 8 where you got both hands together, they were shooting you in both arms?
Yeah, I got my yearbook, my Navy yearbook. They had me in there taking shots on both arms at the same time.
Yeah. But so on that experience here, so I was looking here, you see you got several accommodations here.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I got I ended up getting the National Defense Service Medal, Combat Action Ribbon, the Navy Achievement Medal with the Combat V, Vietnam Services Medal, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. I got that one they sent me to Korea to photograph the prisoners that they had captured the spy ship in North Korea. It was the USS Pueblo.
Yes.
Yeah, and they sent me to the DMZ to photograph that.
Yeah.
So I got the medal for that. And
did you get to interview any of the guys on the ship?
No.
How about the captain? They took away all that stuff?
No, I never got close to any of them.
It's still there, I think, isn't it? I think it's still there.
With the ship? Mm-hmm. I believe so. Okay. Yeah, they never did return it. And then I got the Republic of Vietnam Combat Medal. And those are the ones that I got.
When you got all that there and putting pins on, were you proud of that? Or think, oh man, they owed it to you?
No, I was angry.
Yeah, angry.
I was extremely angry.
Yeah.
to be honest, because while I was there, they were killing my family here.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
yeah, and I basically, I threw medals away when I got out
Did
of
you?
service. But I ended up eventually, years later, I ended up getting them back. I requested to have them back because I figured I earned them.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys felt that way. They didn't
Yeah.
want nothing to do with it because I just remember what it was like coming back. It was just
It,
awful.
it was miserable.
You know, we were
But
treated like dirt. I mean, it just.
yeah,
Did you feel like the media did us a number?
yeah, I feel like the news media is still doing numbers on us because they don't put all the news out there where they put certain sections.
Yeah.
And the majority of the stuff that's really important we never hear about.
You think the politicians did a number?
Yeah, oh, yeah, they're always doing numbers. Politicians, yeah, I'm not going to say what I think about them, but they're not my favorite people.
Do you think we're used as pawns?
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see they wouldn't beg. Do you think when we pulled out of there, do you think we won or do you think we lost?
No, we lost everything, including our dignity, because
Yeah.
we got whooped.
Yeah. And do you think we could have won it?
We could have won. Now there was no way we could have won that war, because of the fact that it wasn't our country to begin with. We weren't protecting people. I think we were protecting industry more than anything.
Yeah.
So it was just a material war, I believe.
That's why I see back here talking about Hannah when she talked about who was getting rich.
Right.
Do you think that we were continue the war going because of the businesses here?
Yeah, exactly.
They were pushing because as long as we were there, they were all making some
Making
bucks.
big money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, they still do those things today.
Yeah.
We're involved in a lot of stuff that we shouldn't be involved. I don't think because if somebody's making money from it.
So, what was your most memorable experience, good and bad, there?
My most memorable experience was I met this little girl, and they sent me back for a month on vacation. I went back and I tried to find her. I never did because I was going to marry her and bring her back with me.
Is this a Vietnamese girl? Is this a Vietnamese
Yeah,
girl?
she was Vietnamese. I'll never forget her. She kind of inspired me.
Yeah.
Inspired me a lot.
How about her family? Did you ever find her family?
No, I went down. She was from a little town outside of Saigon. So I went down there looking for her and stuff, and I couldn't find anything, not a trace. So
That's what, and sometimes amazing. Sometimes they wound up as being boat people, but you never know what ever happened to them because times went by so
yeah,
fast.
I wonder today exactly what happened to her in her life. 'Cause we got pretty close.
Yeah. So what was the worst experience you had there?
Being in combat,
Yeah.
being shot at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. It's watching people die.
Yeah. So if you look back on that, so a lot of times they've had guys go back there now and actually get together with some of those guys. Some of their
Yeah,
stuff.
I thought about.
I've watched a little bit of that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I thought about going back myself.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I would make the trip for one reason. I didn't get enough health. Plus, I was afraid of what kind of memories it would jog.
See, what I remember was just the smell.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The smell, I can never forget. I mean, I can't go into these Asian markets, walk in the door, man, I can smell it.
Yeah, but you've never smelled a country that really smells until you went to Korea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when we were there in Korea, they sent us there on a documentary, and they did sold the city. It all smelled like rotten vegetables because they did take the kimchi and put it on the roof of the houses. Yeah. And the whole city smelled like that.
Yeah. So you think you never want to go back there again and visit? I mean, if to see what what if once you guys got together, they do that, you guys got together and go back over there.
Yeah, I thought about what it was probably like now, but I'm not that interested anymore. I'm just
Yeah.
You know, I don't even go back to visit my hometown that much. You
What
know?
do you think the most benefit they had? I mean, after the war was over, there was some, a lot of those people, they got slaughtered too.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most of them.
Do you see any benefit from them after the war, whatever for that?
No, I just saw a lot of pain and suffering.
Yeah.
That's all.
But it was an interesting. Some of these people, they came, especially you can go out in Denver, if you go out in Federal, how those people who came over here have really done well.
Exactly, they've achieved a great deal of stuff, and I applaud them for it because they went through the same all the tragedy and stuff that came here, and they excel at what they do. It's just, yeah.
Did you meet a lot of people other than your girlfriend? Did you meet a lot of just families and people? Were they willing to talk to VGIs back then?
Yeah, yeah. I met a few people, but most of the people that I met were in bars.
Oh,
So, and I'd go to come back to Saigon after I get off assignment. We had this special bars that we used to go to, and I met her at this bar.
yeah. Were you ever able to photograph any of the holes, the tunnels?
No, no, I never did anything like that. But
What about the Ho Chi Minh Trail? Did you ever get to go see that?
no, I never saw the Ho Chi Minh Trail. But most of my stuff was done like I photographed like the arrival of the first airboats that ever was commissioned in the military. The first ones that came to Vietnam, they sent two up to the Tonkin Gulf, and I was set up and I did a documentary on those things. And went in combat, and it was pretty crazy because they they had dragon face painted on the front of those boats, and I was told that the Viet Cong, they were superstitious about stuff like that. And when we did get into combat, the the army had pushed them, all the Viet Cong down to the river to the rice paddies, and what happened was when they came through there on that boat, saw the boat and they were standing up and they were throwing their weapons down, and someone tried to flee, and it was like it was actually it was a slaughter. They were just shooting them while they were surrendering.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I caught a lot of that on tape about how they were gunning them down, and no mercy. And I was told by one of the army guys, he was on the boat shooting down and shooting at them. He told me we had a professional news crew come in and start filming, and they got into the rice paddies. And the guy told me I wasn't a photographer because I won't get down in the water with them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How about the POW camps? There's the ones that we captured. Were you able to go see them? You said that they
No, I never
shot a lot of them.
Yeah, shot a lot of Viet Cong shots. I saw a lot of deaths that, I consider unnecessary, but what did I know?
Were you able to keep any of the film yourself, or did you have to swim?
No, they wouldn't even let me see the film that I saw. I shot. They would have classes during the week and they show everybody's film and stuff, but they never let me saw mine. And I believe part of that was because of the fact that it was deliberately, I deliberately took pictures of a lot of the atrocities that was going on over there.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't show it. They did show it in classes to my other mates that I was in the service with. They saw some of the footage that I shot, but nobody would ever tell me anything. Yeah. So I don't know what it was.
So they weren't using your films for recruiting then, were they?
Of course not, no. No, but I caught some pretty bad stuff on tape. And they probably never, I probably think they probably just destroyed it.
Sure.
Yeah, so.
Well, how'd you feel about filming that kind of stuff? I mean, did you not want to do it?
No,
Did you ever tell me you didn't want to do it? Or
no, that was my job. So I just,
yeah,
just filmed what was going on. And it wasn't nothing about that war pleasant, but, you do what you're told to do. So.
when some of the people you met, I mean, in the civilians and stuff, did they ever come and talk to you, or they?
Yeah, yeah, I talked to people out on the streets and in the little villages and stuff that we used to go to do our documentaries. I talked to people and stuff. They were very friendly.
Were they ever selling you anything?
All the time. They had this one racket where they
What were
would
they selling you?
anything they could, and then they did the thing with the money. They used to
They,
try to trick you, transfer it to America.
did they ever show pictures of their mothers? You know,
Uh,
did they ever bring pictures and show them of their mothers? And
no, I didn't get to see that one.
how about the booze and the stuff? Well, most of it was black market stuff. A lot of
Yeah, most of the stuff was. They had better stuff from the complex than we had.
yeah,
And most of that was brand new. They very resourceful people.
yeah. Well, they stole a lot of it. Plus,
Yeah.
I'm sure they bartered a lot of that
Oh
too.
yeah. But that's everywhere I went in the world. I have on this side of the world I went to, every place I went, they had people like that were, just entrepreneurs, how you call
Yeah. When any of the time, like, I mean, were you able to practice your faith over there at all? Did they have places to do that? Or
them. I wasn't too much into religion back then. I was pretty angry.
yeah,
So I never brought God into the picture until just fairly recently.
really,
Yeah, because I've been through so much, I didn't probably even believing that there was a God.
yeah.
So,
I can see with your background and what you saw there and what you saw here. You know, it's
yeah,
kind of the same thing in
I
some
know if
ways.
there was a God, why would he let all this be happening like this? I used to ask myself, but, there's a reason for everything. I finally come to peace with all of it now.
Yeah.
So,
You ever watch? You did documentaries and films. You ever watch any of the Vietnam movies? I mean, there's some documentary stuff they do show every once in a while on TV.
Yeah, I tried to. I tried to a few times, but I never could make it all the way through them. I just had problems with it. But there was one movie I watched that I kind of liked. But it was about the Black Vietnam vets, and I forgot the name of it, but it was very popular because they had us looking like we were real soldiers.
Oh,
Yeah. It was kind of pleasant
yeah.
for a change.
I know there's one it's on Saturday morning. It's called Tour Duty.
Yeah, oh yeah, I still watch it every once in a while now. They show reruns.
That it shows a lot. To me, it shows a lot. They did a pretty good job of depicting that. And the hard part about it, you look at those guys. They were our age.
Right,
Now they look like us now.
right,
It's hard to see that.
exactly.
Yeah. Kind of when I see guys come in the VA hospital, they're
Yeah.
all our age. We're all 18,
Right.
and I look at those
Yeah.
guys. You see,
Yeah.
you see yourself.
I know. I look at it right now, coming in here, and I remember that I look like that now.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first went in, I was just a kid.
Yeah.
But
Do you ever get any lifelong friends out of this thing? I mean, do we ever?
nah, everybody I knew, like I said, I was first and only black photographer there, so I didn't make any friends. For some reason, there was this one guy. His name was Ted Stinson. He was Jewish. His father was an interior designer. He worked on movie stars' houses like Diana Ross and people like that. They were very well off, and he was more or less. I consider him my guardian instead of my friend because he kept him off me quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Were you ever able to see any of the Bob Hope shows?
No, not in person, no. I
Yeah.
saw it on TV and stuff.
Yeah. I always missed him. It seems like
Yeah.
a day we were there, the next day he did come.
Yeah, I think I saw, I don't know, Sam and Dave.
Oh yeah.
And, I think that was about it. I wasn't in one place long enough to really get to do anything like that, basically.
Yeah.
So,
If you had to do it all over again, would you do it?
no.
Yeah. What if you got drafted next time around?
Next time if I got drafted, they have to take me kicking and screaming.
Because I had a cousin who was a conscious objector.
Yeah.
He filed for that because he didn't want to go, and he had
Right.
a lot of stuff to go through there.
Right.
And he had to go through a lot of other things. If you did a conscious objector, you had to take another job
Yeah.
that was capable of what you were making the service.
Yeah.
And he volunteered he worked out the Boys Reformatory.
Yeah.
They beat him up and broke his guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a lot of stuff. So he paid the price, I think.
Oh, yeah. Like one of my heroes, but Muhammad Ali, I love because he was a conscious objection. He wouldn't go.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
He's one of the few black men that actually did stand up.
Yeah. You remember, I'm thinking of, he played the guitar right-handed. He was the last guy to play at Woodstock.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Now, see,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was one of those guys, but he was Army.
Yeah.
He was
in the Army before he became
He
famous.
was a veteran. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty tragic for him what happened to him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There are
See, there
others.
were guys like him.
Yeah.
And I remember they used him for recruiting.
Exactly.
He said,
Yeah.
I'll never forget this. Can you say naughty stuff on this thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People swear all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, when they asked him to do recruiting to get guys to sign up for the draft,
Right.
and he was stopped singing. He talked about doing that. Says that we need guys need to go to the socially selected service, and says if you want to do it, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. So what happened with my mom is, as I said, there were about 14 of us when she finally, because she had been getting beat all her life by this guy, by this kid's father. And what finally happened is she finally was able to break away from him. And I felt guilty for years because I was sending her money. And one of the reasons she was able to do that. And once she finally broke away from him, that's when he killed her. And what happened was he killed her and left her laying on. I mean, you wouldn't do a dog the way that she was treated. Her body laid on the gravel road overnight. They never picked her up until the next day.
Wow.
And this guy, he had it planned so well. He killed her, and he went down to the police station and turned himself in. And he didn't go to the penitentiary. They rigged it to where they supposedly had a pre-trial, but they didn't tell, because my whole family witnessed it. They didn't tell nobody anything, so they gave us a pre-trial with a secret date. And what I was told was he got to court, and he ran up and down the aisles for a few minutes pretending to be talking to himself. So they sent him to a Russ Mental Hospital. That's the largest hospital in Houston, Texas, for the mentally insane. But what happened was when he got there, they let him out and he opened up a store. He was at a small community store that he ran for the 3 years he was supposed to be in the mental institution. And they never did a thing to him. This guy, he was a complete criminal. They had been robbing Sears robot warehouse in my hometown for over 10 years. And they finally caught him. And they had a shootout and everything, and everybody went to the penitentiary except for this guy. He had strings. He knew people in the court system, and back then, certain black men could get away with certain things. So he was committing murder and getting away with and nothing ever was really done to him. Coming home was torture.
Yeah.
It was like I had, because of my military benefits, I had it fairly easy as far as educational and stuff like that was concerned. But apart from that, coming home was a nightmare because the same stuff that was going on when I left, it just intensified when I got back. Especially when I got to the point where I really understood what was happening, and that was when I said I fought Vietnam was one war. When I came back home, I had to fight a second war, which all black men too, basically. So my second war ended up being worse than my first war because I'm still fighting my second war even at this age. I still get challenged on multiple things.
When you come back like that and kind of face that thing, did you think, well, maybe I can make a difference? Or you said, the hell with this?
No, I thought I could make a difference for a minute, but I saw it was futile after a while. That I couldn't change anything. It was too embedded, in our system and the people that were running this country. It's basically institutionalized racism.
Yeah.
So,
Is there any connection with all your other brothers and sisters anymore, or do you?
not really. Not really. I hardly ever see them.
Yeah.
So,
Are they all still living in the same town?
yeah, most of them do. I got three. I got three sisters that lives here in Denver,
Wow.
and a brother somewhere in Denver that I haven't seen for years.
Yeah.
But no, my family and I, we're not close at all
Yeah,
because I know nothing about them.
yeah, that'd be pretty tough, especially coming back with your mom and everything like that.
Yeah.
Now, this guy that, your mom, was he? Where did he fit in the family? If the guy that killed her, was he the last guy she married?
Yeah, he was the last one. He's one that made all those babies with her, and he turned out that he was a crook from the beginning. He came in my hometown. He was running from the police, from what I understood. And he had done things like they claimed that they were committed murders down in my hometown. There's a group of them and what they were doing was basically kidnapping and killing women. And they had a grave down in my hometown, down in deep in the heart of the black community. They had a supposed grave site and where they were killing women and burying them, and nothing was ever done about it. There were people coming up missing. His stepdaughter ended up disappearing, and everybody believed that he was the reason why. And it was like he was just a demon, period. And the court systems would back him up, because everything he did that was against the law when he get caught, they never punished him. I never could believe that, especially being a black man, that the crimes that he was committing, and they would let him get away with it. Come to find out, he had ties with all the judges down in my little hometown. He had ties with the police, and because when I got back, and one of the main reasons I had to get out of Texas was because he had sent the police for me. They came looking for me, and because my relatives told me just in time, and they got me out of there, brought me to Colorado, because if he had killed me, I mean, he would have killed me if he could have called me, and the police was helping him look for me. And that's why I couldn't go back for years. And years later, whenever I did go back while he was still alive, my first few days in my hometown, I ended up in jail. So that happened until he died. So now I can go back there with no repercussions. Everybody's dead, basically, and don't have to worry about that anymore.
When you got out of the service, what did you do for a living then from
When I
until
first
now?
got out, I started going to school first when I first got out, and then I got a job at Marguerite.
Oh,
Yeah, and I worked there for 3 years, but I was so messed up in the head. I could do my job and I could function, but outside my job, I was mentally not capable of dealing with the circumstances I was dealing with. You know, I couldn't function as a normal human being for a lot of years, and I've been in therapy. I finally met this guy at the VA in 1986, and he was an intern, his first black psychologist that I ever met, and we came doing an intern with the VA. When he left, I left with him.
oh,
I credit him with saving my sanity, saving my life.
yeah.
I'm still with him today,
Wow.
and yeah, he's kept me out of a few things. He's basically taught me what I need to know to survive. So
What did you do after Martin Marietta?
I did a number. I was a lithographer first, and then I just made copy machines, and then I repaired Xerox machines and just stuff like that.
Yeah. If you were to talk to your siblings today, well, I know you don't have a relationship with them, what would you ever say to them? I mean, here you've been through all the experience of your life with this thinking. If you ever had to talk to them, what would you ever say to them? I mean, would you have something you'd really say to them, or to say,
Actually, there's nothing I could really say to them that would benefit them because they're down there and they've been raised in that environment and that's all they know. So they like
yes, sir.
some people you go through things and after a point you adjusted to it. That's the way they are. They're very subservient. They don't stand out. They don't fight back. They don't buck the system.
Yeah.
And whatever they tell them down there, that's what they do.
You said that when you met this therapist, this black therapist, now, was he have a lot to do with getting to extend you into the VA? Was that your
Yeah,
choice? Or
well,
he got you
no, yeah. What happened was that I was in such bad shape. I needed because I was on the verge of dying. So I went to the VA for help, and they sent me to a few psychiatrists and stuff like this, but none of them could really relate until I met this guy. He came out of the East Coast, and he's very good. He was also the staff psychologist for the CU Buffs back in when they would have that winning spree
Yeah.
back in the '70s. He was their staff psychologist, and then like I said, I'm still with him today. And
How'd you meet him?
through the VA, I came to the VA, and it was about my last resort. I was about to just give up on it all until I met him that day. And like I said, he saved my life basically in so many ways. So I listened to him, and I'm glad I did because I've accomplished quite a bit since I've been out. And that's all because of him and his guidance.
See, I know you said that probably that he saved your life, and so from that point on to today, the VA's been there for you, haven't they? For everything.
He has.
Oh, he has. What about the rest of it? What about the rest of it?
LVA's been all right
Yeah.
most of the time. So, yeah, I've been treated fairly well,
Yeah.
but also I've been treated bad too. I'm not going to go into some of the stories like I said.
Yeah. I know, even because I get to see these people from being the transport. I get to go to these, take people like every
Yeah.
day to these kiosks,
Yeah.
and I see how they treat them. Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
And believe me, I tell them when I see it not happen. I tell them
Yeah.
that who they're talking to, and it just
Yeah.
pisses me off.
Yeah. I've
And
had
90% of the people are really good who treat you very well.
exactly. I've had a handful. I've had my run-ins with it. You know, I'm not gonna go into that because it's too. Well, we just leave that alone.
Yeah. I've met a lot of cool. I mean, what I get to do is meet a lot of interesting
Yeah.
people every. I'm only here 5 hours out of the week.
Right.
I'll tell you what, I meet a lot of interesting people. Everybody
Yeah.
knows a story. And I look at this point, I only have 5 minutes with them.
Right.
I put in that wheelchair like you.
Right.
Where I take you, I got 5 minutes.
Right.
And so I try to get a lot of, because believe me, some people have nobody. I have nobody. I've taken people back out there
Yeah.
and take them out there, and there's nobody waiting for them.
Right.
I go check on them, make sure somebody's coming around.
Yeah.
And sadly enough, that's a lot of that. And I think that's what we're talking about, the suicide rate. I can imagine that's what's happening.
Yeah, basically, I'm alone myself. I got brothers and sisters here, but I don't have any. As for family, I got family, but I don't have family.
Are you still married then? Or?
No, I divorced 20-something years ago, and I've been divorced ever since then.
And your kids, you have any connection with them at all? I know you said they were gone; they moved away.
Say what?
Your kids,
My kid, my son moved. He married this Italian Australian, and they moved back to Australia. He's been there like 9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
They've got two kids. He got two sons, and they're major stars over there for their age groups. They got all kind of medals and stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this for them, because, like I said, they're half European and half black.
Yeah.
And I can imagine what they're going to learn about my son's side of the family. So
you think of all the bad stuff that's happened to your life, you personally, can you see the good things that have come out? I mean, it's sometimes hard to see them, but sometimes at the end of the tunnel, there's some cool things that have in your life. Hadn't this happened, this wouldn't have happened. Have that
exactly. Yeah. Well, like I say, I feel blessed because, like, I did make it through all this crazy stuff that has happened to me in my life. I feel blessed because I made it through it, first of all, and then I've prospered a little bit going through it. I've had to fight a lot. I've had to sue people, and that's what I did to fight back. I sued the people, and I've came out pretty good. So I'm doing all right. Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 75 in May.
Yeah.
Just coming May. I just turned 75.
So you have the same age. I'm just turned 76.
Oh yeah,
so
we're in the same area.
But I have to say, our growing up is so much 10,000 times different than when you came. I would have no way to relate to how you grew up like that.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I grew up in a little small town in Nebraska.
Right.
But it wasn't like that. But where you came, when you said those things, I said, I can't even imagine that.
Right.
So, you've come out okay.
I came out
through the
fairly good, considering, because there was a while in my life where I was just totally crazy. Yeah. I admit it, I wasn't mentally stable. But then, like I said, for Dr. Miles, he talked me through everything. That's right. I'll be with him until I die.
Well, that's good. You got a good relationship with him because, sometimes it's by the grace of God, there's an angel.
Oh, yeah, he's my angel. Like I said, he kept me alive after all these years. And I've been through some stuff.
Does he work for the VA or is he?
No, he right after I met him, he got out of the VA. He's in church and he went on private practice. And like I've said, when he left, I left. And he's been treating me ever since.
Wow.
But excellent doctor.
Yeah. Was there anything else you'd like to say to the people watching this? There could be a lot of guys like you who'd have, and they like to say, I didn't know anybody was like that. Or I didn't know anybody was like me.
Right.
And here you sit here telling those stories. I'm sure a lot of people are going to see that and say that very thing.
The only thing I can say is just life is really what you make it. You have to deal with it, the good and the bad, and whatever happens, you, you have to be prepared to deal with it, and that's all I can say. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and hopefully everything will be all right. And strong belief in God.
There you go. Eugene, I appreciate it, your time.
Sure.
I'm just taken by your stories you told. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody has a story, but everybody's
Right.
different.
Exactly.
You've got a hell of a story there.
Yeah.
With your background.
Yeah.
How does it feel to talk about this stuff? Does it make it
It
feel
got us a relief to finally get it out. Because
Yeah.
like I said, nobody believes my story,
Oh,
and I've been,
yeah.
and I've been just keeping all this stuff inside me for all my life. And just it's relaxing, especially to have something that I can leave with my son and my grandsons
Yeah.
and my granddaughter, so they don't know that I wasn't a bad person. I accomplished quite a bit, and that's the most important thing is for them to know that I was all right.
See, that's the important thing about why they're doing this, because
Yeah.
to expose this kind of stuff is really important. Because a lot of us guys in Vietnam, we never got to.
Right.
We were just the outcasts. We were
Yeah.
just, and people
I know.
people spit at you in the airport. I mean, I want all that crap. You
Yeah,
know?
I've lost a lot of friends.
And see, and I mean, even the guys that come here now, a lot of guys are gone.
Yeah.
And so and a lot of you see Korean guys are almost gone.
Right.
World War II, and it's just us. But we all have a story to tell, like you have. And I think it was just one of the greatest stories I've heard. I mean, not a story, but it was the truth.
Yeah.
Which you shared. I have to appreciate that.
Yeah, but like I said, I lost a few friends. I lost one of my closest friends. He was like, I forgot about it. There were only 4 people came out of it alive. They're over healing. He was my best friend for a long time. And he just disappeared on me because he had like 4 Purple Hearts, and he was really messed up in the head. He just disappeared.
Yeah.
But
see, that's it. A lot of that stuff's deep.
yeah,
like they can have a surface thing, but they don't have like you got. It's deeper than your surface thing. The metals and stuff that piss you off.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
And I think to hear that, I mean, I hope people watch this because
but
there's so many people out there who need something like this.
But I think the most important thing, though, for me is like black men. They most of them don't think it's not manly to seek help for situations like this. But I'd like for whoever sees this that has any kind of sense of it's all right, It's all right to find help where you need it, especially mental help.
Well, see, I guess especially guys our age, they were never allowed to do that.
Exactly.
It wasn't cool to do that.
You weren't mad.
And so you weren't mad. But yet they killed a lot of people.
Exactly.
Because they just couldn't say there's nobody out there knows and we cares. And I mean, you eat it, you die.
Yeah.
So anything else you'd like to say?
I'm done.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I tell you, I got an education today. I myself, I did. Really awesome.
You and me both.
Yeah. So I appreciate your service. See what we never got. Remember, we got. Thank you for your service. We never got that.
Yeah.
And so every guy that comes through that door, I
I
always say I take him through there and I salute them and I say thank you for your service.
But I used to get that a lot though from judges right before they sent me to jail, and from people that would get ready to screw me around in the system.
Eugene, would you like to tell me a little bit about your grandchildren?
Yes, as I mentioned before, I've got 2 grandsons that lives in Australia. But I also have 2 granddaughters that lives here in Denver. And the oldest one, her name is Latea Dora Mae Collins. She's a very gifted artist. She's a painter and all the whole 9 yards. And she's right now trying to get into art school. And I have my baby granddaughter. Her name is Naya V.L. Collins. And she's 16. She just went to her senior year in Manual High School. And both of them are very, very talented. So I've got 4 talented grandkids. That's
That must keep you busy.
extremely, you know, I, the long distance thing is kind of frustrating. Sometimes I would rather have them here with me, but we're on the phone and we do the Skype and all this stuff quite a bit. And I get to see them quite a bit over the phone and stuff like that. But it's it's still pretty exciting just the idea that I've got 4 grandkids that are to me are the greatest thing that ever walked the face of the earth. And other than that, I'm very pleased with them.
That's wonderful. And what are their ages and where do they live?
Our team was Eugene Collins. We call him Junior. He's 10. He lives in Sydney, Australia, and gifted athlete. He wins all kind of awards for his age group. And I just hit a grandson. He's like 4 months old now. We call him Apollo. It's Apollo Eugene Collins. So he's gonna be awesome. He was a big baby when he was born, over 9 pounds. And yeah, he's already showing signs that he's gonna be somebody special. And that's it as far as my family's concerned. And of course my son, he's my heir, my light of my life. You know, I just enjoy the fact that I'm his dad, and I'm very proud of him.
Sounds like you really enjoy your children and your grandchildren. They're a big part of your life. And I noticed I have a lot of Eugene in their name.
Yeah, yes, yes.
How did they feel about that?
They're very pleased with it, especially my oldest grandson. He's very pleased with it, and that's why I want to kind of get this to them so they can see that, you know, I did accomplish something in my life.
Are any of them taller than you yet?
No, my 2-year-old, he's getting there. He's a big guy. But well, my granddaughters, both of them are almost as tall as I am, but they're not there quite yet. But they're big girls too, so it's pleasure to just get around them.
That sounds wonderful. When's the last time you saw any of them?
Well, my grandsons, I was, you know, on Skyping them for quite some time. And the last time I talked to them was about 2 weeks ago over the phone. And my granddaughters, even though they live here, I've seen them maybe once or twice in the last year or so. But I constantly stay in, you know, in what they're doing and things like this. I constantly keep up with what they're doing and stuff.
So, is there anything that you'd like them to know about you that you don't think that they already know?
Nah, I'm a good guy. So that's about it. That's about it.
And you love them very much.
Exactly.
And I'm sure they love you a lot too.
Of course, yeah. We get along great.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about them?
No, I'm done.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for sharing that story. It was very pleasant.
You're welcome.